Hello and welcome to a new episode of Vedic Spirituality. My name is Madan Gopaldas, I'm your host, and on this channel we're talking about Vedic philosophy, Vedic spirituality, and how to become happy in life. Today I want to talk about why stuff works. So, this is a topic I had a very nice realization about this when I was still in school. This was around 13-14 years ago or something, and at that time I just started out reading Vedic scriptures and Vedic philosophy. And at that time in the physics class we were talking about the basic physics maths, like how to calculate speed, acceleration, and I don't know the English term actually, but it's about this type of things, like and then force and all these things. And then I realized, like, let's say we are moving this, I move this arm, and we can say this finger goes from point A to point B in a certain speed. And it has it makes like this distance divided into time is the speed of the finger, and if I become faster, then it's the acceleration we can calculate, and also like the force I need to move this much of weight from here to there. We can calculate all these things and put it into math, but this math, these calculations, they only describe, they don't explain. And that is like very simple things like speed and acceleration, force and all these things is very simple thing. But even if we go to the more complicated things in science, like then like the muscle cells who burn the carbohydrate to get the power to move, that all these type of things are described in science. Then the cell is described, what type of chemicals come in, what type of chemicals go out, the nerve cells, how they function, what type of chemicals they use, the electric impulse they use, even like the voltage of this electric impulse, and everything is described. But all this only describes, it doesn't explain why. It doesn't explain why, like my fingernails are growing. The fingernails are growing. The science can tell there are certain cells who produce this and this chemical. They need this and this type of food intake. Then it will become more. The fingernails will become more strong, and the cells, they have different parts. The cells, where is the DNA? The cell. I don't know the English term. It's the seat, or the inner part of the cell, the nucleus, where the DNA is inside. Then there are different other cells who transport the different chemicals. Then there's the membrane who has this and this properties, and everything is described. But why it is working and why actually it happens, it is not, the science cannot explain it. They only describe. So therefore there is one certain book where the concept was given by our spiritual master that there is an achintya shakti. That is the Sanskrit word, achintya shakti. Chintya means chinta means thought, thinking, or the power of mind, or the thought process. Achintya means it is beyond the conception of the mind, beyond the possibility of the brain, our brain, to understand. And shakti means power. So that these fingernails grow, the reason why it is due to the presence of a higher energy than matter, which is the spirit soul. And the spirit soul has an achintya shakti, has this uncomprehendable force, which is so to say like a magic. And this makes these fingernails grow, this makes my hair grow, this makes my beard grow, this makes my teeth growing as a child, this makes the whole body functioning. And that is the why. And the science, just empirical science, cannot give any clear answer why. They only describe. They can, if you ask question why my hand is moving, then they will say, okay, the muscles are there. Why the muscles are moving? Oh, the muscles are contracting due to the they're getting stimulation from the nerve cells, and then they're contracting. Then why they can do that? Oh, because they're burning carbohydrates. It's always only describing, but finally the final why it happens, it is unexplainable by empirical science. Therefore, our spiritual master says that science has to accept this Achintya Shakti, because otherwise there is no why. And usually people, they don't go that far, they don't think that far. They're already, if you just give a superficial answer, as the science always gives, they're already satisfied and then think, oh, we already know everything. But in fact, a thoughtful man should go further and should not be satisfied with superficial answers. And if like that, finally you will come to that we have to know about our soul, and that we have to know about the source of our soul, which is God. And then we can understand why actually the whole world moves and why everything happens. Let's say like the cow produces milk. That is that she can change normal grass which grows on the field. In her body it happens that it changes to milk. That is Achintya Shakti. Finally, the final answer, the final why it happens and how it happens, it is the Achintya Shakti of the soul. And similar, a bird, he can fly. You can see there is a bird there flying. So he can only fly. This is the unconceivable potency of the soul, that she has this power to fly. It is due to the soul. And of course you can say the wings, they have this weight and the air flows and things like that. But finally it is the reason why everything happens is the spirit soul, a higher energy than the material energy, that makes everything move. And this is in the microcosmos, from the cell to the bodies to society to also the cosmic happenings. It is the same thing. Behind everything there is always the spiritual energy, the spirit soul that moves the material world, and the power of the spiritual energy moves the material energy. It is the wind blows because God is behind it. And of course there are also gods who are empowered by God that make these things happen. The fire burns due to that, the rivers flow, the lakes can maintain their level, the oceans maintain their lives. Due to, always behind there is the spiritual energy that maintains, that moves, that creates. And the material energy is just the object. It's never the subject. The subject is always the spiritual energy. It is in our body, it is in the universe, it is with everything. Yeah, so this is the small random talk for today. I hope you liked it. If, as always, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you will not miss any upload. And I hope you got inspired by this, got some input from this talk that will inspire you to proceed on your personal spiritual journey. See you next time.